Cashew is one of the fastest growing crop commodity in Ghana, with a high global demand of more than 5 million tons annually. But the farmers are not able to produce enough to supply this demand.
I am Adjei. I come from the eastern region of Ghana, and I happen to be here first time with a company by name Olam Ghana Limited. I was by then the senior unit head, managing Wenchi, Sampa, Japi Krum and all, and reporting to my superior who was also living in Sunyani, and to our Indian, like the country head, who was also in Accra by then. I've been in this trade since the year 2001 up to date, and when we started, we were about 5 companies here in Sampa, and the whole Ghana is like the base was Sampa, so it's like we were about 5 to 6 companies in this particular trade, until we advanced to a level where the business became attractive to farmers and traders, because the more the production, when we started, the production was around 5,000 to 6,000 or so metric tons, and it rolled on to the current stage of, let's say, 150, 160,000 metric tons.
My name is Alhaji Justice Mama Ansuma. I'm the National Secretary for Cashew Traders and Exporters Association. And I've been in this business for past 30 years. You know, starting from 1991 update. You know, we organize all the companies, all the buyers, and then we also do contact government for support, so that they will come in and then see that we also have a regulatory body.
My name is George Mensa Nuvulo Daku. I am the treasurer of the Ghana Cashew Buying Association, and my position as a treasurer is to take care of the day-to-day finances, and then if there is any program or activities that we need cash, the organizer have to bring their budget to me, and I will take a very look at it, and then make sure that wherever our money goes is in safe hands, and then it's going to benefit the association itself, it's going to benefit the community that we live, and then the country as a whole.
When the current president, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, came around for his 2016 election campaign, we met at the summer hut where discussion went on about the cashew and all, where he took the decision to form a board for cashew board. And that was the first time, I would say, he's made a promise in terms of the cashew board formation. That time there was a big festival for the people of Sumahinkro by name Akwentukesie Festival. So the announcement was made. So fortunately, when he got the opportunity of leading the country, he decided to rather merge 6 tree crops, being it cashew, mango, rubber, coconut, oil palm, and shea as the three tree crops that will be managed under one authority. So the formation was one from trade, one from processors, and two from producers. So that is how come the nominations went, and we got the confirmation from the president. So this is purely private sector-led authority where members were nominated by their various associations, and the confirmation came from the presidency. So that is how come I became a member of the board.
More sustainable wealth can be built by investing in cashew production in Ghana, which is also a low-risk and money-spending crop.
Cashew in Ghana can also stand, not equal, but in some way, if cocoa is not there, cashew can stand also like cocoa. How we are seeing cocoa, how Ghana government is benefiting from cocoa, cashew also can help support the development of the nation like that. And truly, if you see the way cashew is booming nowadays in the world, you can see that yes, there is something in cashew, which if we get support and we get regulatory body and stuff, we can also make it. So this is what is happening. And now what we are doing is that through Ghana Government Tree Crop Development Authority, we are also coming up with some regulatory, distance that so that we can also have ourselves and the business can stand.
If you talk of the socio-economic benefit to Ghana as a cashew producing country, one is employment. If you come around, as I took you around my warehouse and the various warehouses of my partners and my colleagues in the business, you could see very young men and women and elderly people working around here, teeming youth. Some are coming from Sunyane, Takrade, Accra, Tema, Tamale, and all that across the country. They come here, they come and work. Some as careers, some as people who come and do casual work for a season as secretaries to companies. They are casual workers. Some also come as people who come and do the pick and sorting. Some do the loading. In terms of even transport, the haulage, look at the trucks you see around. They are all loading, going and coming. They are being paid for their services. Aside that, if you look at the health benefit, cashew is a very nutritious commodity. That is why all over the world is now becoming one of the fastest consumed products in the world. Aside that also, foreign exchange. If you look at our forests, Ghana, we don't export so much, although we export not that much. And our currency is spent by only Ghanaians. So the population as against the number of people who are using the currency is very few. So if you export and you're able to get returns in foreign exchange, then you're able to stabilize your local currency. And because this is a product that is 80% foreign consumed, so we are able to export and in effect our return get a lot of foreign exchange for the country.
The economic value, and because we are also loading every day at least 5-10 trucks a day towards Tema, and Ghana government are also getting more revenue from the export we are making in Ghana. And at the same time also, cashew also brings foreign money is coming to our country every year through this cashew business.
Most exporters prefer Sampa cashew to that of Ivory Coast due to the high kernel output ratio of 50 plus grade and better taste. It is interesting to know that cashew industry in Sampa is still at infancy despite seeing a significant growth with more international buyers coming in, which is driving the demand and cost of the commodity. These cashew farmers and producers face a lot of challenges affecting the production of cashew in Sampa.
Our business is going down year in, year out because of the expatriates. Me being a partner with an Indian, we were using about 22 staffs, both Sampa and Tema. But due to taxes and then the operations that some of the Indians are doing here is not helping us. Because you can go to a company that an Indian man will employ one of his colleagues, that will be two, then they will take only two of the indigenous, only two of them, so there will be four. They don't pay SNIT, they don't pay tax, but we are all in the business. So if I'm paying corporate tax, I'm paying upholding tax, and I'm paying pay tax, and also paying SNIT for our workers. How can I cope with that Indian man? And our interest rate is very higher than they also, and they don't employ even the community, people living in the community. They don't employ them. They just do their own thing. So that's also affecting the unemployment in the community.
Premier Panyini Stephen Nkatia, for 50 years. I share Cashew Jumaseno, say 5 years in it. Cashew so Jumano, a Juma Ed Nankasa, a Brehon, a Queer or more Motono, or Montoni, Enfree and Chain, dear Martin Biane, a Hochere. This is and I say, painful bit to me. I am ama cashew no, the price is so Jinamaya, me fees and Queer for yes, but
Each and every area has its own peculiar quality and challenges. Some produce heavy husks, the shell. Some are producing a very heavy shell, which contains very high moisture content. So for you to dry and get the kernel itself dried, it means you have to lose more weight before you can get there. It means losing weight also means you are losing money, because each cashew here was bought based on metric ton or kilos. It tells you that when I buy 1 ton and I'm to dry 10%, just imagine, it means 100 kilos is off. Because a ton is what? 1,000. So the 100 times 10 gives me the 1,000 kilos. And just imagine you buy something for a ton of, let's say, 7,000 Ghana cedi, and you are losing 100 kilos for a ton. It means you are losing 700 Ghana cedi. That's why we've been encouraging the Ghanaian farmer and educating and trying to let them understand that the more you dry the cashew, the better is it for you, the cashew farmer, because you get value for your products. This maxi bag is not good for cashew storage, because when you put the cashew in this, the cashew is a live nut. It needs ventilation. And once you don't give it ventilation, you see how this color of the nut is. It's turning into black. If you see this one, you see how it's getting germinated. So when it happens like this, cashew that was bought at a quality of 50 out of 10 will finally come out to be 46 or 45. It means that a lot of the nuts are rotten. You see, oil has started oozing from the nuts. And once the oil is oozing from the nut means the kernel will be affected by the oil. So it aids in rapid rotting or deterioration of the kernel. And the main reason why we buy the cashew is because you see, the more I'm pressing, you see the oil coming. This one has been in the poly sack for so long a time that the heat has affected it. So either it germinates or it gets rotten.
This prevents them from producing more tons and a good kernel to meet demand. Amongst them are low price of commodity.
When we are buying, we assess all these things. That's why, as a board member, I've been talking to my CEO and my board chairman to do as much as we can so that they can provide us with a lot of juice sacks. Because it's a byproduct coming from the cocoa board after selling the cocoa for export. So the more they do open shipment, that means that they don't go with the sacks. They cut open the, how do you call it, the bags, pour the beans and sell the empty sacks. But currently it's been a challenge. It's also has become a trade of middlemen, passing through the hands of 4 or 5 people before it gets to the farmer or the exporter, which is not helping. If you go to a neighboring country like Cote d'Ivoire, government sees to it that the sacks should get to the exporters or the farmers. It's compulsory. I have operated in Cote d'Ivoire before. I had my operations there. Before you start, they ask you the tonnage that you buy for the year. And at least they give you 30% of the juice tax to start. So when you are shipping to the port, then they also, in return, add on more sacks to you, depending on the volumes that you move. But in our case, there's no intervention. But the board is trying to put in place regulations and policies to make sure that if Parliament should pass it, all these things might come into fluid. But as we sit and stand today, we don't have it. So everyone does it as and how they want it. And the Ghanaian farmer is losing a lot of money because after farming for the whole year, you harvest and you don't have a proper packaging material. So you end up putting it in this, it gets rotten, you come here, I assess it, and the quality is below standard, so I have to pay you per the quality you brought. So it's a concern to every Ghanaian that wish that the agricultural sector should develop.
So most of we, the Ghanaians, what we normally do to help the farmers, sometimes is we give them, we decide. We give them, my company like this, we do give them 100 boxes of weed decide every year to my loyal farmers and then suppliers. And then we are appealing to the government also. At least, if they can also help us, we are an association, okay? If they can break up maybe 1,000 boxes or 2,000 boxes, we can also share it. If it comes to the association, we know the registered companies. So we can share it among ourselves, and then later it will also goes to our farmers, so that they can help us to produce more cashew in future.
Notwithstanding, cashew farmers and producers have benefited a lot from the production of cashew. A lot of the youth in the area have been offered employment through the production of cashew.
Nemo Adjei-Manu. Akewa ngafunga mi, sombonje mi, ngawe fali ole felio ngami. Ke wana ile niwe rakabampi. Na tena bulewe suku. Na tena umbekatawa me nyungusi. Mbekatawa me akomabo.
Ndiye mfaso dia menyanse. Mfase me ye mitimi nya mfaso kakra me de han me dan. Ana afeso mitimi de bo akonhoma kakra. Na mitimi so di bi hwa me ma nti mfaso a we say manya wo muso no.
Okay, we feel ma kakra ma say ma see ayi Brisbane bi bi. No ko no ma ba fi mama me ba nso binu ko school binu ko secondary school ba kra mfo nso akọ training college awie nmo na ya me nso me di hwe no kakra sa abansa nti me di aya no.
Cashew join the airborne. My head. But I want to tell me out because most of the time, I say determination conquers difficulty. Who determine a bit to me? Yeah, therefore it's cool. But for the woman, everybody.
Also, Sampa community has seen tremendous developmental projects and still counting from the Cashew Buyers and Exporters Association of Ghana.
I remember there was a time that we have natural disaster here. There was a rainstorm that took over the sheet of the hospital. So we, as an association, took it upon ourselves. We make sure we put it back in a good shape. And then also we help to fence the hospital.
Support or the help which our community as Adjei-Manu is gaining is very, very, very big. Today you can go to Sampa or the corner. If you open your tap, water is flowing. It's through Cashew. This our association. Through that, today we are enjoying water freely.
Since we started here as an association, we've done a lot by educating farmers, having meetings with them, dialogue with them, negotiations with them, making them understand what it meant to be in the cashew value chain. Productivity, size of farm have to be improved, the various agronomical practices that will help them to develop their farms such that yields will be improved. We also try as much as we can to be able to match up with international market prices so that the Ghanaian farmer can benefit from whatever production they are bringing from their various farms. Aside that also, if you look critically, you realize that this group is a student union that we've supported them to put up an IT center in order to enable them to be able to at least improve the IT learning center and also the capability in terms of technology in this particular environment. So we as a people have been supporting them in one way or the other, and also in our private ways, not in the form of association groups. We assist students who come to us with their needs, and also some community members who have peculiar and special healthcare and all that, which is not all that we bring it to bear, but once we live here as part of our social responsibility to the community, we try as much as we can to make sure that they also benefit from us.
In general, what I want is that government shouldn't, turn back to the cashew. They should focus it. They should take it, also hold it as cocoa. By 5 years or 10 years later, you see that Ghana cashew also is going to challenge Ghana cocoa, and these are the things we want it to be in future.
My experience for the past 20 years in this industry tells me that the cashew business has a very good prospect, because if you look at Sampa, when I came, it was a very small community with lack of finance, and it wasn't open and exposed. But the cashew has made it so much exposed such that now if you go to India, people are in the factories that know Sampa by name. Some are even more familiar with Sampa than Kumasi. And a lot of the people will use Sampa because the quality that leaves Sampa is very high. And look at the millions of dollars that comes into the country on a yearly basis to support the cashew business. So I believe that when government gives the cashew industry a very good attention, it will repay its cost, and it will be a field that a lot of young people will be ready and interested to be.
Let's grow, produce, and invest in cashew to drive Ghana's economy today, tomorrow, and forever.